It's Seiji with Majali, and today we're interviewing the founder and CEO of Fradu Group. He is a property developer, and right now we're actually at one of his properties. So we are currently at Buffalo Creeks at the Wilds, where Mr. Frank Ngwenya has developed one of the properties that he's going to be taking us through. And we have the opportunity to talk to him today, really get inside his properties that he's developed, get inside his business, get some insights on how he has actually managed to penetrate the property industry, which is so difficult to penetrate and actually be successful in. So we're going to get insight from him, and we are going to learn more from him how to be a property developer, the challenges he's faced along the way. And also, one interesting concept about him is that he also owns restaurants. He's decided to franchise his brand as restaurants. We're going to learn more about franchising your own brand as a South African small business. How do you grow to a level where you are able to franchise your brand?
This is what I can show you in Pretoria. This is what we have.
It's the work
This,
in progress.
if Fradu, our company, we do our own developments, like your residential. Then time to time we do clients projects. Like this house, there was a big stone, the size of maybe half of that house in here.
Oh,
so
wow.
there was a lot of engineering going in there. So you'll see it goes steep. It looks small outside, but once you go inside,
Once you get inside, then
you can see it.
So when did you start property development?
Oh yes, property development. I'll say 2005 when I was in the UK. I started saving up money working there at Wetherspoons. Then I bought repossessed properties back here in South Africa. Yeah. Then as I bought them, I left UK 2006. I thought, this is it, I'm done. So I'm coming back home to to make some money.
To actually then
Then look at it. I didn't know the industry and all that, but I lost just about everything really. After
So
I'll say
how many
6 months,
properties did
it was
you buy?
4 of them, 5, yeah.
5 properties.
5 properties, bank repossessed your 100,000, it was almost 500,000 to $1 million.
Each.
No, all of them combined. Small little pockets of properties there that needed a little bit of work. So
the purpose was to buy for renovation and sell, or you were buying?
now for the love of property, it was just to buy. At that stage was to flip, number
Okay.
1. Number 2 was to rent out. Then we'll
okay.
see as it goes.
How you grow.
Yeah.
So why did you end up losing those properties?
Maybe I think I'll say it was lack of knowledge of the industry. I was young. I think I was 21, 22 then.
Wow! So you started buying your first property at the age of 21.
Yeah.
He already started buying his first properties, and he was abroad at the UK working there when he acquired properties in South Africa. Unfortunately, those properties were later repossessed. Had a huge rock here.
A huge rock, so that's number 1 already. You don't know what you're going to find. And also, it's a lot of engineers, maybe 2 or 3, really to gather the actual proper levels, contours, if I can put it that way. So now, this one was very, very challenging to make. So we end up, in a plot like this, you see this hole, this big hole, just a retainer to retain the the soil,
The soil from falling.
So where we are parked almost half on top. So all this is a retainer. To make that retainer, you're talking about 200,000, just the retaining
Just to
wall.
create a wall that
just
is
to
going
create that barrier.
That's the wall that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's such a small space.
Yeah, but
and it's so expensive.
the steel that goes in there, and this engineering and all the scrutiny, it also helps us to learn more as we go.
Because I just want to know, did you have to learn, did you get a course in property development?
I learned on the job, really. That's the best way to learn. I would tell entrepreneurs, learn on the job. It's okay to fail, it's okay to come back again. That's how you learn. I can go and get a degree of 5 years, whatever. But when you're on the ground here, it's a totally different story. I did business skills, just an overall. Even
so
now,
after every project, you go back and say, okay, guys,
yes,
we
for the next
costed
one.
this project
Yes,
to be
Yeah.
1.5 million.
Yes, yes.
And we actually spent this much.
Yeah.
What were the lessons learned
Yeah.
from it? How long does it take for you to actually complete a project? If it's a home, taking 7 bedrooms as an example.
Yeah, this one took almost, I would say,
Wow.
a year to 2 months, because the owner of this property is a surgeon, specialist in surgery for hearts and all that. So he's doing all cash. So to arrange close to 3-4 million rents like that, so it took a little bit of time. Sometimes you stop maybe for
a couple of
months, he raises,
then
he comes back. Yeah, but it depends. Then if some people, we do less project for people, but if we're doing our own projects, 6 months really.
Or if you are in control of the budget at the time.
Because now we know we've budgeted for it. Like the developments we're doing in PE, we sold out before we even finish the actual building. So now
how many units were you developing in Phiri?
So now in PE we have 4 units in a small, nice complex. So that one is sold out already.
And how long did that take you to? Because this one was funded by yourself.
Yes.
Before you put it out to the market. So how long did that take?
I'll say since they were all double stories, not very big, but just okay. It took us almost 6 to 9 months
to complete all
4 units. Nice.
So if you're interested in property development, this is probably the most important thing you need to get right. Today we are having a kitchen interview, believe it or not, simply because we are at one of the properties that he is currently developing. He's going to tell us more about the journey to where we are right now. He is currently developing properties. Mr. Frank, tell us who you are. How your journey started.
So now I had some small little money with me. I was 14, 15-ish at the time. So the only thing that I could do, because I think the bars of the city and the people doing, I was there by, no retexturing.
Yes.
So I was around there. So when I was there was just too much noise, and so I just got fascinated with all these buildings. I started studying those buildings. What's going on here? So the curiosity started there. Yeah. So I started selling from the streets from there. Just
how old were you when you came to Joburg?
I think I would say 15.
15 years.
14, last part of 14, 15 years, yeah.
And you come to this big city.
Yeah.
You don't have a place to stay. You don't know anyone. How did you survive?
Entrepreneurship. I didn't know then. Looking back now with hindsight, say, okay, looks like it was that thing then. So I just started buying things at China City, just selling. Really, during those times there were trompies, those guys used to.
Yes. Oh, you used to sell those hats.
I was selling those hats. I was selling those hats.
There was quite a demand for those
back in the days. I was selling those hats on the streets, and just shoes and just really anything that I could really get my hands. Yeah. Wow. Then it led to but I didn't make a lot of money there.
It was just from hand to mouth kind of situation.
Just for me to be able to get something to eat today and send a little bit back to my other siblings that are stuck somewhere. That was just really it.
Sure. And when would you say is the moment you got your big break? From the hardships of trying to survive in Joburg City, and you saying, now I wasn't there yet, but I was stable as a person. I had a roof under my head.
So I would say from the selling, I didn't make enough money, so I had to think fast. I started walking down the streets of Oriental Plaza and your Forsbeck, looking for work in those Indian shops and Chinese shops there.
Okay.
I got a job. That job was really a factory where they were making your 2-liter cans things. So in that job, I was really slow. So to make that thing, so I was fired. I really fired because I wasn't doing well. Then I jumped next door to a Chinese blanket manufacturing place. I was also fired because I was a little bit too hard. I was young and So a break, answering your question, the break came when someone told me that they were hiring a Dross restaurant in 4 ways.
Okay.
So I got the money that I had, then I took taxis. I was directed on my way. I think I was around 16ish, around about there. Now then I'm in Joburg. Then I was hired on the spot. What was my job description? Just to wash dishes, pick up papers, anything, clean windows.
You don't have to be fast.
You don't have to be. I don't know nothing about restaurants. Then that was at that stage. That was the great, because at least I had some small little salary coming in, and
Sure. And fast forwarding to where your career started as an entrepreneur, how did that start, and where were you? Because you went abroad at some stage, stayed there in the UK, and came back. So when would you say the journey actually started in entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I would say as I was progressing in the restaurant industry, I ended up moving to O'Hagan's and Randburg, and I became very good at it. I was a waiter, top waiter, you name it. When regulars are coming, they want Frank. Where is Frank?
Wow.
If Frank is not there, So until another guy say, I've got a friend of mine in the UK who's got something happening there. He's starting a B&B in Ipswich. So if you can join us, you can join him. Organize for you. Then as long as you can raise money for a ticket, then I worked so hard. Then I raised money for a ticket. I didn't even have the passport. Then, do you have the passport? No, I don't have. Then I have to go to.
Then it was 3 months to get a passport.
Yes. Then I went to, I think it's Resik Street or something. Then I took my. I can't remember how long it took. Then I got it. I thought the guy was joking. When I come, say Then they sent me the letters and all that. Then I got the visa. Then I went to the UK. Then now, remember, I paused my entrepreneurial thing with the selling. I still loved what I was doing. I still loved this building, but now I had to do something first to get me to somewhere.
A bridge.
Yes, a
basically.
bridge. So I had to end up making a bridge. So UK for me was, yes, this is it. But as I arrived in Ipswich, it was so remote. It's like I was rewinding everything. A very, very remote place. So as I was there in that remote place, now I looked for something. I said, no. After 6 months, I had to try to call the guy in South Africa. At that time, we didn't have the WhatsApp and all that. I couldn't find the guy. So I had to go to that thing, to that red thing. Then I tried to call the guy. I didn't get through. Then I resigned 6 months later.
With no job?
No, I resigned. Because there was a guy in London who was running a church, a little church. I said, if I can come there, you'll be able to accommodate me. He said, I've got a sofa there, you can come and sleep in my sofa. So I said, okay, I'm going. It's because they were paying for everything, paying for food, accommodation. I was just literally serving, So I leave everything. I take whatever I saved, go to the big city now, London. I started looking for work there. It doesn't take you long because I had experience now as
in the
a
restaurant
chef.
industry.
Yes, I was a chef then.
So when you were at Ipswich, did you get some form of qualification to be a chef, or it was just through the experience that you were able to be a chef?
Yeah, no. At the Ipswich, they taught me from scratch. I had the front end. The front section experience in South Africa. And then when I got to the UK, they taught me the back end, chef and everything, ordering and all that. So I started learning from there. It was really a dynamic place. Then I learned from there. I grabbed so fast to at least have some form of something in the hand to go and look somewhere else. Then I ended up going to UK. I got then a company called JD Wetherspoons. It's one of the biggest chain restaurants there that has got pubs, B&Bs and restaurants and fine dinings, a few of them. So there it just exploded, really. I learned just about everything. Started from chef to head chef to supervisor to now the restaurant manager. Then from there, but remember that thing that I paused, remember, as I said before, that entrepreneurial thing at the age of 14, it was still like, finding a gap. And what I was doing, there was nothing much I was doing there. I was just raising money. I was staying in a very small room, like a really small you can find. I think I still remember I was paying like £40 per week. That was it.
Were you
I was
saving
eating
the
at
money?
work. Yeah, saving that money, just banking it. Because I wanted to, I love Africa, I was staying there,
but
I just wanted to come back home. So that was really what prompted. So that passion for entrepreneurship kept on burning. So now where do I start?
Where do we start?
I love property. I started studying property there
While you were in
London. In London. I know restaurant. I don't have to go and study it again. I know it now.
Because you've gone through the entire phase.
So now I have to study this. I started studying that, and then I enrolled in a school there where they were just basic business skills. Then I gathered a lot of data and information on property, learning properties around the world, UK versus South Africa. Then boom, I found the website for repossessions, in South Africa. Then they were really cheap, 40,000, 60,000. It was.
So these are repossessed houses in South Africa that you saw, and those are the houses that you started buying.
Yeah. So now I find these things. I put in an offer online. Everything was done online.
Oh.
Then when I put in an offer online, because I had, let's say those properties are 250,000, all of them, maybe 3 or 4. Then I have the 150. So a bank, Absa, I've got a representative in the UK that does bonds for South Africans there.
Oh.
So I got a guy called Hyena, an Afrikaans guy, very wonderful guy. So the guy said, I can help you with a bond. So the bank managed to give me 50%.
And
so I put the 50%, Then that's how it started. Then from there, I think I was, like I said, I was 20, 21.
Wow, you had 3 properties that you had bought at the age of 21.
Yeah.
With a 50% deposit that you had put up front.
Yeah.
Through an online search engine that you found where they were auctioning repossessed houses. And from there you decided to come back to South Africa to manage those properties. And how did that journey work?
Yeah, I would say up to 5, because the other 2 I accumulated when I got back. When I came back, because remember I was buying sight unseen, naive, just pushing the button. I don't care. I just want a property in my name. I don't care even if I find grass only,
So
all
you didn't
I want,
go and see the sites,
No.
see the property, the condition. You didn't know all of that.
No, I didn't know.
You just knew that there was a property available and you wanted to buy it.
Obviously it's Absa and it's that it was taken, because with the repossessions and all those things, you need to find out what's going on behind the scenes. Little did I know, when I came back, they were intact, nothing needing fixing.
Wow.
So when I came, I went to 2 in Nelspruit in Tula Mahashe, perfect.
Wow.
I looked in the window there.
And you're like,
it's
no
like,
broken
wow,
windows,
really nothing.
vandalized.
I went to Bisho, I bought another one, no problem. I bought a block of flats here in Berea also, no problem. That one had some small issues with the tenants not wanting to move out. All these properties were locked up, so it was really, then I came back.
It was a smooth purchase, basically.
So I convinced my wife at the time, because we met 2006. Then I said,
while you were in
London. She was also working in managing conference centers and, as a chef there. So I said, let's go back home. How much have you raised? I said, I've raised 180,000. I said, give it to me. Give it to me. We're getting married.
And trusting
just trust me.
She gave you
I'm telling you, we're going back home. We're going to live large. We're going to be this and that.
Because you've got 3 properties that are already there waiting for you guys.
So now, look at it. I know that, wow, when I came back, it didn't last us almost 6 months. I just couldn't keep up with it. Remember the flow of money. There's no income to service the bond.
Sure.
Now I have to fix some small little things to put a tenant. I didn't calculate, because within the 12 months, you need to calculate some 1 or 2 months where maybe you're fixing or there's no tenant or there's another one. So all those things I didn't know. Nothing. I just wanted to go and see my property and so until really 3 months later, 4 months, the bank had a look at our case and said, no, let's just take all this. Then they repossessed them just like that. And I paid almost a year or 2-ish.
So this is you having paid 50% deposit up front and having paid a year's worth of installments, your properties get repossessed.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you lose all that you worked for? You were in the UK for a number of years, trying to raise capital to come back and start a life for yourself. You have a family now, you have a wife, you need to take care of that. How do you go through that phase of losing everything now? This is not you alone anymore. You have a wife that you've promised the world to.
Yeah.
And you are left with nothing, literally nothing.
Yeah.
It's rock bottom for you. What goes through your mind? How did you get through that? And what are the steps or the key milestones that you still attribute to you getting up and starting again?
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if it's the right word, tenacity, just that never dying spirit and that mentality to say no. Okay. I would say the best part is that I failed too much earlier. Earlier I failed a lot. Like I was like the king of failing. If there is someone who's got something that's not working, if I touch my hands, it just falls apart. So I failed a lot earlier, and I accumulated the failures, for some time. So what made me to stand was basically that, to have that, and also the wife that I had, who wasn't really materialistic, and believe it or not, also we had a small baby coming.
Yeah.
Now, no income, properties are taken, we've resigned. Back home, the same job that we're doing, yes, the same job that we're doing there, let's say for argument's sake, we're making 10,000, 15,000. Back here, you make 1.5. You can't even, so you end up going to. So now, everything is taken. So now I have to wake up in the morning. One thing about me, what happens today, yes, but tomorrow morning as I wake up, it's like I'm starting. My life starts today.
It's a clean slate.
It's
a brand new start.
Yes, I learn from what happened, obviously, but now I think it's been really. I realize it now. Now that why did I? What happened there? So okay. So that's how I really operate.
Got yourself up.
Yeah. No, I got myself up that way. Then tomorrow morning. But what did I do? We utilized what we had. The skill that we had. Remember the skill that we had?
And that was being a chef.
Being a chef. So we said, I sat down one day, I remember sitting down and said, okay, this thing has not worked for now. I said, for now, let's pause it for now. Yeah.
Again, this is the second time you are pausing your dream.
Yeah, now I'm pausing
You're not giving up on your dream, but you've paused it once when you were young.
Yes.
You've paused it again when you started it and it failed.
Yeah.
And you had to go back and find other means of raising capital.
Yeah. So now we're sitting here, we don't have anything. The only thing that we had is our hands and to cook. The best we can buy is
and you guys are eating nice food every night.
Yeah, so we end up in an apartment that we're staying in, just sharing with other people. We had a room, a 4-plate stove, so we ended up really cooking from there, making some very nice glossy business cards. So the other encouragement to people watching out there at home is like, you can start where you are.
Yes.
That 100 rands, you have no idea what it can do.
You don't need to find a perfect place.
Yes, you can start from there with that 100 rands. I always often say that if you are a graphic designer, you don't have to go and study accounting, be an accountant like you. You can simply just make your business cards with your hands and start really distributing. So that's what we did.
Believe it or not, my first business card, I designed it myself.
Oh yeah.
And I was an accountant. So some things you can say, what can I do now?
Yeah.
So that someone can recognize me and someone can offer me an opportunity.
Yeah. So we ended up really starting from there, giving. So we cooked so well where we were cooking. So then now the portfolio for restaurant started growing. The catering, the callers for this event there, the callers there, then it grows. Then we open one store there, another store there. Then now the money starts coming in. Then when the money starts coming in, you are not yet fully ready for it. Money comes in, any car that comes, you want it. So now you're reversing all that thing. Then the loss happened again.
So you went back to... So you actually didn't go back to that. You started realizing that I am living a life that I've always wanted.
Yes.
Or I have the ability to acquire things now. And you started buying cars.
Yeah, I started buying cars. I started really doing some funny things because now we're making it. Then now we can't keep up with our day-to-day normal rental for our restaurant.
Operating expenses.
Then they repossessed us again.
Sure.
Now they're repossessing our store.
This is a second repossession.
Yeah, this is a second repossession at the Grove Mall. You remember, the Grove Mall?
Yes.
We were the first tenants when they opened. The first that time. So it didn't last us almost 6-7 months. They repossessed us. Because anyway, the other thing was there were some robberies in that mall when we started. So we were affected. We were a small company. So after the repossessions, then now we're done.
So you lost your cars?
I lost then, not long ago. Then now the bank came knocking. I ran away so hard for the banks this time. I was skillful in my running away.
You know how to deal with the phone calls.
If they call me with an unknown number, no, not with me. You don't play with me with an unknown number. Obviously, I know who he is. So I ran away. Then eventually they ended up getting me here in Pretoria North.
They tracked your car?
Yeah, no, they didn't track it. They found out through some home loan that I still had. They wanted to verify some address. When they were doing the home loan, they were giving these guys the information. Then they came, they buzzed at our estate we were staying. Then they said they are Telkom. Then when they came, they took both our cars. That was it. Now
and how many cars were repossessed?
It was the XC90 brand new one, this 4x4, and the A4. When they were, those A4 Audis, they took it. So now, no restaurant, no cars. I'm starting all over again.
Back to square one.
Yeah, so I had to sit and really take stock again to say, okay.
Do you still have the tenacity?
Yeah, you see. So now, then the property started really, that drive for it started really happening around me. And okay, there's this there, then
Do not miss his interview at Say G with Majali. Follow our YouTube page, subscribe so that you don't miss any of the interviews that we have. Say G with Majali. Share as you grow.